5 surefire questions to fire off and ask every single reference you take with the absolute hopes we can turn them into candidates for other roles that you have. Now, every single recruiter here knows that references are a fantastic place to find new clients, to find new jobs, and to potentially find new candidates. But what blows my mind every freaking second recruiter I speak to is that A, they don't have questions pre-made to ask, and B, even if they do, they're not always asking. They're in such a rush to get that reference done because really you're doing a reference when you're about to make a placement. So you're so fixated on making this placement and you want to get this reference done. It feels like a bit of a chore. And I've talked about references being a little bit of a chore, but you've got to get the eye on the prize. This is actually a potential candidate. You got to think about the context of this referee, right? A lot of the time, they're a friend, they're a colleague, they've probably shared this journey for this new role that your candidate's looking to find, and it always gets them to start thinking about, oh, maybe what are my prospects in the market? And they have these thoughts, but they don't give it too much thing. So the seeds have been planted. Every time I now view a referee as the seeds have been planted by my candidate who's asked them to be a referee, because whenever someone says, could you be my referee? You start thinking, oh, they're looking for a job. And then your brain wanders and thinks, oh, maybe I should look for a job. But they don't act on it all the time. So I always view that every referee is kind of primed to be plucked out and start to talking about their own journey, right? So I want to give you 5 sort of angles or questions that you can throw in at the end of your reference form. So everyone should have a reference form. I want you to put these 5 questions at the bottom, okay? Because you're going to start asking them at the end of every reference, and let's just see if you get some traction. It was so ironic that as recording this, I literally had a message back from a candidate who was a referee 2 weeks ago, who when I asked these questions, didn't want to budge, didn't have any interest. I'd noticed that this morning they checked my profile out, and I happened to be off the back of posting some new ads on my profile on LinkedIn. I just sent a message, hey, have you had to think about your prospects in the market? She said, I was about to message you. Yes, short answer is yes, I want to speak. So you want to keep planting these seeds and keep watering them. So what are the 5 questions I've got for you? So when you finish your reference, you've been on the phone for 10, 15 minutes. It's usually quite upbeat, quite positive, whatever. The first one I would ask is, have you got any questions for me about the market? I'm a recruiter. I'm obviously helping your friend or someone that you know. Have you got any questions for me right now that might help you with anything you've got? Like maybe it's salary, opportunities, project. What is it? It's a nice, easy one to ask, right? If you're feeling a little bit bolder and they give you a bit of a buying signal or whatever, or if they reject it, oh, no, I don't have any questions for you. The next one is, well, do you know if your salary is above or below market? Have you tested it? They look at you like, geez, that's bold. But, how do you know? How do you know if your salary right now is above or below market? And then that's a great way to explore it, and they can tell you what they're on, and hopefully they give you a really low salary and like, oh my God, you're underpaid. Like, let's go fix that. Let's go find something more. That's an obvious one. Or they could be very well paid, and you say, you're very well paid. The third question I'd be putting down there is when was the last time you tested your profile on the market? Because a lot of referees are long-termers. They've been in their jobs for 10, 15 years, and they're in managerial roles for a reason. But when you see that sort of profile, geez, they've been here for a long time. Ask them, when was the last time you tested your profile and your skills in the market to see what you're worth and what sort of opportunities were available to you? Oh, I haven't done that in years. You go, have a think about it. Let's book a time to explore further, and that's where I go with it. Well, let's book a time next week. No rush, because they're obviously not in the rush. Been there for 10, 15 years, and let's talk about it next week. I've made a placement off that last month. A referee just said, "Where are you at? When was the last time you tested it?" Geez, it was before COVID. Oh, okay. Do you want to have a chat next week? Yeah, no, sounds good. We booked it. I actually didn't even think we'd get much out of it. Got the guy 2 interviews, got him an offer, he took the job. So, it's a good one. The other one is being very direct. Just saying, look, before I jumped on this reference, I checked out your LinkedIn profile to see who I was calling, and there are actually some really good opportunities for someone with your skill sets right now in the market. Would you be curious to find out a little bit more? That's another question, right? You can ask them. And then look, the last one, none of that works. Just go, that's cool. All good. You're happy. All good. They'll shut you down. You know those ones where you probe, you ask, they just shut you down, just want to get off. What's your email address? I'll send you my details. Should anything change, you need any help recruiting, should you need any advice regarding your career or whatever, at least you've got my details there. What's the best email to get you on? Grab their email, and when you email them back, you just say, hey, thanks for the reference for such and such. Really appreciate your involvement in their career. It sounds like you're pretty happy where you are at the moment. I've actually attached a bunch of jobs we've got at the moment. If you're curious, reach out if you've got any questions. And that's the crux of that. It's like once you got their email, throw them all your roles, right? Get them thinking. Like that's our job, is get people thinking to look. The moment people pull their head up from what they're doing, most people get quite excited, right? So our job is to coach people to stop what they're doing, take a breath, stick their head up, and have a look around, okay? And so that is 5 ways you can ask a referee about their situation and with the aim of getting them to stick their head up, having a little think, having a little look, and hopefully you're the one that can do that for them. So I hope that helps someone out there. Please like, share, subscribe. It does really help us grow. As always, have an amazing day. May all your deals and reference taking, converting into candidates come true.